Welcome to the OBM Podcast. This is a platform where awareness, new perspectives, healing, and transparent conversations take place. Every mom has a motherhood journey that is unique, yet no mom is alone. So sit back, relax, open your minds, and steady your hearts to hear a mom's journey through motherhood.
Hello, sister friends. Welcome to the OBM Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Wilmarie Wilson. She is here to talk to us about some great things, so get ready. But before we begin, we're going to start with hearing about who you are. Tell us about you.
Like you said, my name is Wilmarie Wilson. I am a mother, a wife. I am born and raised a little bit in Puerto Rico. Moved here about 15, 20 years ago, back and forth. I've been here most of my life in Deltona. Currently reside in Daytona for the past 5 years. I have 6 beautiful girls.
6.
And busy household. We have 3 dogs, 2 birds.
3 dogs.
Love arts. I love to paint. Love makeup. Very girly girl. And yeah, I just love. I have beautiful church that I go to that I'm able to have as a great support center.
Awesome. That's always great to have.
Yes. And yeah, let's see. Wilmarie, I'm a mom of 6 with a busy life.
Awesome. And I cannot let her bypass this part, even though I know she's not doing it on purpose. But our girl is releasing soon another set of twins.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you have 6 girls. See, I know, but I want everybody to hear the gender for themselves. Can you tell us the gender of these next 2 babies, please?
I am getting 2 boys in July.
Girl mom and boy mom. Power here. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On another set. We're really excited for you.
Thank you
so Let's go right into this, okay? You are a mom of 6, about to be a mom of 8. We want to hear your journey of motherhood. Let's hear it, please.
Okay, well, at a very young age, I never wanted any kids. Let me start with saying that. I used to see everybody with all my cousins and friends having a whole bunch of kids, and I was like, yeah, that's not me. I used to love to work and have my freedom. However, at the age of 23, I had my first baby, Leilani, and she changed my life. She changed my way of thinking.
Yes.
Right after that, I had Arielis. Then I had Naishali and Genesis, and then the set of twins. So throughout every phase of them being born, I think I've learned something different with Arielis. It was sharing time because she was my second child, and I wanted to be able to give them both the same time. Come Naisha, she's my 3rd child. So now I have a baby in the middle, and then my oldest and my little ones kind of getting most of the attention. So it's kind of dividing equal times.
Yes.
Even though I've enjoyed each and every stage, still enjoying it till today because they're all different ages. So I get to have a little different of everything. So I have my teen, my preteen, my 8-year-old that acts like a preteen. I have my 2-year-old, soon to be 3, and my twin. My twins are almost 9 months. They're 8 months, but they're in that stage currently that they're crawling. They're putting everything in their mouth, so you got to be very attentive at all times. But yeah, I've enjoyed every single moment of it, from not wanting kids to being where I am right now. I don't think I've ever pictured myself having 6 kids or even 8 kids. I was raised with all boys, so having 6 girls was a whole lot of different as well. Because I didn't know what a sister was. Now I know what sisters are. And then being sensitive, I was always raised really tough and a tomboy and all this. And then I have all these girly girls, and they're so sensitive about everything.
Listen,
it's different. It's different, but it's it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud to be their mom, and I'm lucky, I guess, that God chose me to be each and every one's, all of their moms and friend and anything I need to be for them.
Right. Having 6 children, period. Having one is a challenge. I don't really know how it feels to have one child at a time, because I started off, twin mom power up in here. I started off with twins, and they were 2 girls. So when you say the sassiness and the girliness, I get it. But having one baby is a lot. But you have 6 and counting. How were you able to manage? You said you enjoy it, right? Listen, I have to be honest with you, and everybody here, it wasn't always enjoyable for me. At a young age, when you become a mom, and if you don't know who you are, it's tough.
Yes.
It's really tough. So how are you able to say, I'm enjoying this with 6 children and counting? Talk to us about that. How are you able to enjoy these moments?
So I feel like having support has helped my situation a lot. I used to be a single mom of 3 before I met my husband, and I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't as enjoyable as I can say now. Even if it was stressing over bills or whatever the case was, it was something always, and it was something missing, I can say. Now having my husband there, the support that I get from him when it comes about anything, the girls, even if that's not their dad, that he treats them like their own. So it is
so good.
Yeah, it's something that I've always prayed for, and I got in him because he doesn't make them feel any different. You know what I mean? He has his 3, 5 soon, but he treats them the same. He's very loving. That's so awesome. He's my equal, if that makes sense. So
he's your person.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I might be a little louder. He's more calm. I might be a little bit more strict. He's more loving when it comes to parenting, stuff like that. But it wasn't always enjoyable, I can say. But now, I'm learning to enjoy the little times. Like in a blink of an eye, I have a 13-year-old, and I've probably missed a lot, kind of stressing things that still resolve themselves no matter what. I overcame so many things, and at the moment you worry about stressing those things, but then once you overcome it, then you're like, okay, why was I worried? So I think now I have a mind frame of if I was able to overcome all these things in the past, being a single mom, other things that I struggle with, alcoholism, so many things that I struggled in the past, not knowing my identity, so many things, and I've overcame all of that. Like, there's nothing stopping me now. Like, I know that, it's just whatever comes, or I know we're still going to have trials and stuff like that, but it's about taking it the best way. How to making sure you deal with it in a loving way. The kids are not always going to listen. There's always going to be things that are not what we want as a mother, I guess you can say.
Or what we envision motherhood to even be.
Right. But just trusting that I'm going to overcome that, that we're going to overcome that as a family, and just trusting God that no matter if this is what it looks like, it might not be. It's probably it's just a process of where Liliani, for example, my 13-year-old, she needs to get through something. That's just a process where she's going to be. So I enjoy it. I enjoy it now. I try not to stress about little things. Like, I remember when we first talked, I had a whole couch full of clean clothes, and that might take a little bit of peace. Like, I have to get to this. But at the same time, if we want to watch a movie, the clothes ain't gonna go nowhere.
Listen, I know the struggle, the mental struggle that we have with trying to meet society's expectation of what a good mom is. That battle is hard to fight against sometimes, because you think it should look like this, and you think you should do this and do that. Especially, trust me, when I say I understand having a couch full of clothes and you look at it every day saying, I need to get to it, but I'm tired. I need to get to it, but I have to cook food. I need to get to it, but I want to do something for myself. It's just so much you want to do as a mom, but the pressure makes it seem so impossible to do. Yeah, I want to get to the clothes.
Right.
But why do I want to get to the clothes? Am I trying to look a certain way? Am I trying to be perfect? That's the struggle that I know I can relate to as a mom. With being a mom of 4, listen, I'm not at the 6+ and counting, but having 4 children is tough, you know. And so I want to, that same enjoyment that you have, I wanted to pour into me, and I know others who are watching wanted to pour into them too, because being a mom, especially in this time, is challenging.
It is.
But I want to look back and say I enjoyed it, because when you said you with your 13-year-old,
yes,
about to be 14, and listen, I love all of your babies. That oldest one, she was in my class.
Yeah.
And just to have her, and I think I had one more.
Yeah, release.
Yes. No. I think I have 3 of your babies. Because one of them I was with her for 1st grade, just to come in to help with small things with her teacher. Wow. Yeah, so listen, y'all, this is one of my parents, because I'm an educator. So having her sit with me is really cool. To see the fight that you put in as a mom, and you were a parent at that time, but now I'm able to see what you went through and are going through as a mom, but you're still enjoying it. Every time I saw you in parent pickup, you looked so happy. You might have had a tough moment right there before, but you showed that you loved your kids. It's time for me to pick up my kids. Let's go. Let's do this. Though it might have been challenging for you, you really had that energy. I love the energy you gave off every time I opened your door and put your kids in the car. You didn't look sad to be picking them up. And I'm not saying it's bad to be in that place, because I was there to be in that place of, I gotta go pick up my kids, Lord, they're gonna be asking me for this, they're about to stop pulling for me. But it's not until we come to a place of peace in God, with God, that we're able to see them the way God sees them, and experience motherhood the way God wants us to. And so when you say, and I want to kind of focus on this part right here, you said with your husband now, he's about to have 5, but the oldest 3 are not his, right? And you said how was life being a single mom? I wanna there's a lot I want to pull from what you said, but I want to kind of focus on that. How was life being a single mom?
It was a struggle. I'm one of those persons that I've never let nobody help. My mom always helped, but I got this. I build things. I don't need no man, and definitely that was my mind frame. I don't need no man. I got this. They don't need no father. It's all gonna be okay. But then there'd be times where I couldn't help with the homework, or just things that I didn't see then, that I see now that I need him. You know what I mean? And it's not just him. It's just needing a person that is willing to love unconditionally and be there for you unconditionally. Like, yes, being a single mom was hard. I was on Section 8. Barely had any food at times, but I would always make it work, you know? Make it work, working a little bit just so my Section 8 wouldn't be taken, because if I worked too much, it was...
Wow.
It was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot. But like I said, when I met him, things just kind of all fell into place. And not when I met him, because we built a relationship for a long time, friendship. But when we decided to move forward with our relationship, that's when things started changing. That's when I started allowing him to be in the girl's life, kind of. And it was tough for me, because I've never had nobody that I'm like, okay, well, you can parent my kids, you know? So it took a lot for me to trust him when it came to that aspect, if that makes sense. I still kind of butt in a little bit.
Of course, you cannot help it.
I'm still working on it.
For sure.
But it's come a long way since we started. So, I mean, being a single mom, it was definitely a process to learn what I wanted, put myself first, to learn what I want from them, from a man. It helped me realize all of that. And then I knew what I wanted. I knew what type of men I wanted, the type of men I prayed for. And I got blessed. I mean, I'm not saying he's perfect. He might be in my eyes. You know, we have our things. But honestly, I'm blessed. I'm blessed because, like, my own baby's dads are not, you know, they don't care for them, call or nothing. So to have somebody that goes out of their way to do homework with them, to take them out, to just even pay attention to them, you know, to listen to the stories. When I don't feel like hearing the stories, he's
right there. That's awesome.
I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, but those little things I'm grateful for because I'm not always, I'm busy, I'm cooking. It's just the teamwork, I'm very grateful. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change anything at all. Like, I would always, the steps that I had to take to be where I am, I would keep it the same way.
Right. That's good. You know, we know that God is very intentional about, you know, we put ourselves in certain situations, but God is always there to be like, here's my hand. I got you. Let's go.
Right.
And I love that. It sounds like he did that for you. I know you said with your oldest three, their dads are not present, but your husband right now treats them like they are his own. And that is a blessing in itself. And kudos to him, because he doesn't have to do that. He could say, these are my stepchildren. But he said, these are my babies. I have 6 and counting. And I love to hear that. I love to see that. Now, when we're talking about the girls, you say dad or dads? The oldest three.
The first two, I was in a relationship for 8 years.
Okay.
And
that is a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
and that didn't work out.
Their dad didn't work out. Then I moved from Puerto Rico, came looking for love in all the wrong places, and then I found Nisha's dad. Very abusive relationship, physically and mentally. I was there for 3 years and ran as fast as I could.
You ran. Good for you. And I know
I got out of there, yeah.
I know it's hard from what I hear, it's hard for women to leave those type of relationships. Yeah. So, what made you want to say, I'm out of here after having 2 children, but then having one of his children? I know you needed that support. I know you needed that love, or what we thought was love, right?
Right.
But he physically and mentally abused you. What made you say, I'm out of here? I'm out of here. What made you say that?
To be honest, that was like one of the toughest times I had in my life. But the day that I realized, I remember I'm not going to get details, but he was basically choking me, and I was like blacking out, and I hear my 13-year-old at the moment, probably like 5 or 6, I don't remember. But I hear her screaming, let my mom go. So when I woke up, I was emotional.
It's okay.
I realized that I was doing everything I said I would never do to them. So I said, that's it. Like, and that was Easter. I remember it was silly. I was asking him to clean because my parents were coming over, and that was the reaction I got. So
it's okay here. I need some now.
I pretended to, go about the day, and as soon as my parents left, I cooked, had a great time, and then I called police.
Wow.
So, because he wouldn't leave my house. So then I got him out, and I made sure he never came back in. But it was just realizing that I was basically doing what I said I would never do, which is, because I was raised around that. So I promised myself I was never going to put my daughters through that. So she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing, putting them. So I was like, okay, no more. So took a lot, but I stood firm, and I was able to walk out and just move on. It was hard, like I said, but nothing's impossible. That's when I found God, so that helped a lot. And then, just kept going with life, no matter feeling loneliness, none of that. I just, of course, I failed sometimes got back up again, but it was all part of the process. But that basically, going back to the question, that's what pushed me through, just hearing my daughter beg for him to let me go, and then putting her through that. I was like, okay, I can't do this. Being selfish.
But you know, I usually save this question for the end, but I want to be specific to moms that are going through what you went through with having 3 babies already. So 2 questions. The first one is, if you could tell any mom that's going through this an encouraging word to help them feel empowered to get out of this for the sake of their life and or their children, what would you say?
I would say you're so much bigger than that. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. You know, of course, having God helped a lot. I'm not saying I went right away, but find yourself a Bible-believing church. Find yourself support, and just know that you're worth it. Your kids are worth having a normal life. Even if it's just mentally, it still affects you in every way. It's very important to have that happiness, that joy, that peace mentally. So if you're in that situation, he's never going to change. Whether they say they'll never do it again or not, probably will happen again. And just get out as much as you can. To me, it was very physical. Maybe mentally it's different for other people. It was also mental, but there's some
abuse,
people that
period.
So doesn't matter how much you love, that's not the last thing. There's something better for you,
and that's not the love that they deserve.
Exactly, that's not love.
That's not love, period.
That's not love. But we kind of like, oh, he loves me, or I can't live without him, or whatever the case is that you want to stick, or my kids, or to me it's not worth it. I feel like once you get over that, you'll realize that you did such a good thing.
And you had all those thoughts that you said.
Oh yeah. You know, it was the first time he put his hands on me. I was like 5 months pregnant with Nisha. I should have known then. 3 years later, I was still there. Kept forgiving him. I would put him in jail and get him out the same night.
Wow. So you would call the police, but you would also bail him out. Right. Wow.
Right.
That was, I'm pretty sure, looking back at that.
Very toxic and horrible, yeah. And I was like, okay, I put my daughters through this. Like, what kind of person? And that guilt comes from, motherhood. Like, this is my babies. I probably messed them up for life. But thankfully, they're not messed up, and just rearranging my life and moving forward. Of course, I keep saying God, because I don't think I would be here without him.
I agree.
And the support I get from the people placed in my life, and just seeing people that think alike like you helps a lot, you know? Yeah.
So second question. That was great advice, by the way. Second question. You are someone who was in it. Thank God that you are not anymore, and that God gave you the strength to leave. But you were in it. What would you say to someone that knows somebody that's in it? If you were the victim, what kind of support would you have wanted, or did you get from friends and family during that season?
To be honest, to be really honest with you, I don't think I did have some support of my family. Let me just say that. But at points I didn't feel that I needed that support. If anything would help, or not that I needed, that I got that support from family and friends. It was honestly somebody random at work that I used to talk to, and made me realize how much worth I was. Like I would come to work with a black eye or whatever the case was, and she'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, you're beautiful. You deserve better." And it just made me realize that helped a lot. My family knew, but because I kept going back, they kind of thought it was a joke. I was a joke at that moment, so it wasn't like it wasn't really support from them. But from a stranger, I got all the support I needed. Eventually became my friend, and he was my go-to when I needed someone there, when the whole transition. He was a great friend. So yeah, I mean, as a friend, I would say just listen to them and remind them how good they are, how much worth they are, you know, what they deserve. Sometimes people don't know that. They don't have that growing up. They don't have somebody pushing them saying, hey, you're beautiful, hey, you're great, you're doing good, it's okay, you know, you failed, try it again, or it's, you know, it's going to be okay. They don't have that, you know, so you just stay in that mentality. Just having, if as a friend, I would say to my friend that I would be like, hey, you're better than that, you know, you could do better, you don't deserve that, your kids, you know, just talking to them, letting them know. And of course, referencing them back to God always, praying for them. I feel like even if they don't believe, I pray for people who don't believe, and they might not believe that they got cured because of God, like cancer, but they didn't know how to hold church praying after them, or whatever the case was, you know. So I think prayer helps a lot if you're a prayer person. Right. Pray for them.
Okay, I think that's great advice from both perspectives. Being the victim and what you would have wanted as support during that time, and I'm sure it was God to bring that stranger into your life during that season, when I'm sure you would have wanted, your family probably did the best that they could to support you, but I'm sure you would have wanted that support in that I'm not going to give up on you spirit.
Right.
But God decided to use someone else in that season of your life. So thank God for your story of victory when it comes to fleeing from an abusive relationship.
Right.
For sure. So as we fast forward to the man of your dreams, the man of your prayers, just to have him, you're able to really experience that true love and the love that you see that your children deserve. Because I know most of your children, and they are amazing. And even if I felt like, I don't believe any kids are bad, but if I felt like they were a little troubled, they would still be amazing. They would still deserve the love that God wants them to have, you know. So I'm glad that you have that, and I'm glad that your children now have that. And through all of that, dealing with an abusive significant other, dealing with, and you said you dealt with alcoholism, correct? And you're not there anymore, right?
No.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations. How long have you been sober?
2 years now.
2 years?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. It's been a while.
Awesome.
It's been a journey. It's been a journey. When I broke up with, you know, that person, I literally just went to alcohol. And that was my go-to kind of. And I'm like, it got to the point where I would wake up with it and go to sleep with it. And like I said, God. And also my 13-year-old, I'm gonna say she keeps me on my toes, because I remember picking her up one day from the bus stop, and she's like, why do you always have a cup in your hand? Even if she didn't know that it was alcohol or not, that just like slapped me in my face, like, what are you doing again? You know what I mean?
God it has used her for many things, it seems,
to reflect, like, okay, what are you doing? Like, it's time to rearrange some things. It's time to reflect. Obviously, this is not working. Like, so that, and me just making up in my mind that I want it better. Like, they deserve better. Like, this is not taking me anywhere. This is not doing anything for me. If anything, it's made me more depressed. It might have eased the pain at the moment, but then when you wake up, the pain's there, or worse, or the problem's there. So it's just putting in my mind that they deserve better. I deserve better. So
you all deserve better, for sure. And again, congratulations for being 2 years sober.
Thank you.
And I'm thankful that God has used Leilani to help you get out of two dangerous situations, and for her to experience those things as a child, I'm sure was tough. And so we're going to come back to that, because I want to kind of I want to talk about how she is handling that today. I wonder if she remembers those things. So we're going to come back to that. But you say with all of these things, dealing with abuse and dealing with alcoholism, and having so many children, how, with you enjoying life, what are some things that, because you did admit, and I love the transparency, you said it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes the kids do things that bother me, and sometimes I'm focusing on bills or focusing on that, and I get a little, I guess, distracted.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sure you stay in that place? Let me go back. How did you get to the place of saying, I'm going to enjoy this?
Again, I think having my husband has been a great help. We do a lot of family meetings. We incorporate God, like we do Bible study.
That's good.
I would wish we would do it more than what we do it. We do it maybe once every 2 weeks. We used to do it every week, but it's been a lot as of lately. But yeah, just sitting down with them, reading. They have the little, what is it called? The programs on the Bible app, like where you follow them. So we do that with them. Devotionals. Yes. So we do that with them. We pick one, and we all, I let them all read, and we talk about it. So we usually do 2 a night. So it takes about an hour or so. But that hour or so, they got a lot of, we all did it together. I think that helps a lot. Praying with them every morning. I always say for the past, since COVID started, we've been declaring every morning we're Psalms 91 equipped. We're Psalms 91 equipped. We have everything. No evil, no sickness, no nothing will come upon us, and we declare that, and they go about their day, and I trust God to protect them.
Yeah.
At home, like you said, I'm also a business owner, and I do a lot of photo editing and all that.
Nice.
I'm a photographer.
Yes. What's the name of your business?
Genuine Snapshots.
Nice.
So sometimes
awesome.
I need like quiet time when I'm editing. So it helps a lot. Again, teamwork. Hey guys, I'm editing. Can y'all stay in your room for a little bit? As soon as I'm done, I'll let you know. Or stay on this side of the house so that I can have that quiet time.
Yeah.
Because, of course, with the babies during the day and all that, I don't get a lot of quiet time.
Yeah.
But as soon as my husband gets out of work, we manage to kind of like...
That's awesome.
This
teamwork.
is the plan, yes. I believe having structure helps a lot. Especially when we have a lot of kids. Yeah. So, like, for them to have duties, we call them... the duties, the daily duties.
Daily duties.
Right. Nice your last every time I say that word. But
duty, mom, duty.
Right. But they all have their own duties. They have the schedule. They get home, they eat, they do their homework, they chill for a little bit, then they do their duties, shower. And it might be a little bit routine sometimes, but it does help.
That's good.
It does help. It helps, and we're not always like structured. Hey, no, like we have movie nights. We just had a movie night last week. We watched The Eternals together. It was really good. Yeah, the kids loved it. So, simple. We buy popcorn, dollar store, candy, and we sit down together and we just have those movie nights. But I feel like just making those moments is what makes you enjoy it. It doesn't always have to be money. It's just having that time or rearranging your day where you just like, you give them that time, if that makes sense.
What helps you not to stress about the stresses of motherhood? What helps with that?
I say I'll pray a lot. I've been struggling recently. My 13-year-old, she's going through a lot of things, teen things,
Yeah.
And I worry, but then I also trust God. Right, that's kind of say I worry, but then I trust God because you shouldn't worry. But I'm being transparent,
and I love it.
I know she's gonna be okay. Just gotta trust God. I really just trust God, and I pray about it, and I trust God. But yeah, of course, sometimes it takes a little toll on me, but I'm reminded always it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, even if it's my husband. Like, okay, you're stressing. Like, stop. I have to hear it from him. But But yeah, I try not to. Like, I feel like he actually stresses a little bit more. I'm more chill. Like, oh, this bill's due, this bill, and I'm like, it's all right. We're gonna be okay. Like, so we kind of evens it out when it comes to that.
Yeah,
but it's just reminding ourselves who our God is, basically, all the time. Because sometimes we're in the flesh,
we worry. Like you said, it's very natural for us to worry and stress, but it's very it's so amazing when we have that relationship with God, and especially when we have children, it's easy to say, my gosh, especially with every crazy thing that's going on with schools and stuff,
social media,
and so many things. There's so many great things coming out of school too, but the news, they like to mix things up a little bit. But it's a lot of things happening in the schools that can positively and negatively affect our children. But we have to sit back and say, you know what? I am a little worried, God. I am a little concerned about this and about that. But at the end of the day, I trust you. Right. It's the same thing that Jesus did on the Mount of Olives. He said, if there's any way you can take this cup from me, please do so. But I love that Jesus became man because he's able to relate to us. He was able to show emotion just like us. Say, I was worried. I did weep. This is concerning me. I don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, he said, but not my will. Let your will be done. Right. And that is what that is and was a great example for us. And I speak because obviously this is a podcast for led by moms. Yes. We have those worries and those concerns. But we have Jesus as an example to say, you know what? I'm not mad at myself for having these worries and concerns, but I am going to take this to God and I am going to release this. And I'm not going to condemn myself. Right. So I think that just spoke to me. I think that right there can help us to enjoy and say, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this thing. Right. Because how they live their lives is going to determine how I treat them. It's going to determine how I respond to life myself. And if I show them, in spite of my bills, in spite of this happening to me, in spite of that, I'm going to trust God. We're going to enjoy this thing. We're going to have fun. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure you can relate to me in this. We want our children to say, my mom loved me. Yes. My mom fought for me. My mom prayed for me. And my mom instilled those same things in me. And she really enjoyed life. I know my daughter one time, boy, this is so sad. This it's funny how God uses our children to help us realize, you got an issue. And you need to get it together. Right. In a loving, aggressive way. She said, Mom, she was like, oh my gosh, you're smiling. I looked at her like, I smile all the time, Mila, thank you. And she's my funny child. She says things, and I'm like, okay, God, okay. But she said, Mom, you are smiling. I was like, I smile all the time. I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. I was like, all right. And so when she said it, another day, they were like, Mommy's having fun. Come have fun with us. Wow. So I don't do this? Or if my kids say, Mom, don't be mad at us. Don't be mad. That is sad. For my children to see that if I act a certain way, or if I say something or do something, they automatically think I'm mad or I'm sad. And I don't want them to see me that way. So that showed me you need to let God heal you. And you need to let God help you to be a mom. Because though we, see examples as motherhood, as being a mom growing up, you feel like you're prepared, you're still not ready. Right. We're still not ready. And it's hard when you come to terms with that. I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Especially coming out the gate with 2 children. And we found out at 5 months that we were having twins. It was exciting, but as soon as we had them, it was challenging. And so people can tell you, oh, you're gonna be a great mom. But when you realize motherhood is hard, it's challenging, it's or you expect it to be a certain way, right? It can make you depressed. Yeah. Put a weight on you that you don't need. To be quite frank, it can make you feel so heavy. But I want to be, and I can see it. I see myself in the place that you are, a place of enjoyment.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch movies. I don't care if popcorn on the floor. Who cares? We're gonna get it up later. And all this
before
jazz.
y'all go to sleep, you gotta pick up that popcorn.
Yeah, clean up this room. And, and I admire you, and I am proud of you.
Thank you.
For saying, I'm going to enjoy this, and I am going to continue to enjoy it after these two boys come. So you have a supportive husband. You have a husband that says, nope, I don't have 5 kids. I have 8.
Mm-hmm.
You have a support system. You go to church, and and I know you shared earlier in things that you like to do. You said you like to paint.
Yes.
And that's one. And so does that help you enjoy motherhood too?
It does. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't get a lot of time to do it. I kind of have to make time, but when I do, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
I do. Even if I have to stop 20 times because of the kids, whatever the case is, I'll stop, but I try to enjoy it. I love dancing. I love serving. I serve at my church, and my kid, Ariel, is actually just won Servant of the Month or volunteer for her age, for the youth.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome that they want to serve too, because they see that in me and Dad, because my husband also serves at the church. So, yeah, just having them involved in church and being us involved, I feel like we need to be way more involved. But just that
this
helps.
Is the season that you're
helps
in.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. And yeah, painting, editing. Honestly, if it's sometimes I'll tell my husband, hey, I need some time. Can you take the babies? And I'll stay in the living room by myself, and I'll catch up on my little soap operas from BET or whatever it is I'm watching. Even if it's 2 episodes, but I'm doing it alone in a quiet place. I don't need to leave my house. Some people do. It's good. I enjoy walking the beach sometimes, like just by myself to regather, thoughts if I need it, just to breathe. It's not always peaches and creams, but I try to enjoy it as much as I can so that I'm not stressing, because stressing is not going to get me anywhere, you know what I mean? Kids are going to be kids. I'm going to tell them I can clean right before they get home. They get home, backpack, shoes,
girl,
like every day.
Listen.
I mean, like, come on, I just mopped. They ate crumbs everywhere. Like, I just mopped. Like,
and how do you not get? I find myself getting frustrated about those things.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not get frustrated about things like that?
I get frustrated, but I've learned. I used to be a screamer, so like, when
Jesus help me, Lord.
Single mom, that's all I did was scream. And I learned screaming. They don't listen to me. They don't listen. They just mom screaming again. It's okay. So now, I don't like to hit my kids, but punishment, it's the way, my way. So I take whatever they like. They like tablets, takeaways, TV, whatever the case is that I take, but I make sure that I make them clean too. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so I've been busy all day. I clean. You come home, you don't care that I clean, and you make this mess. You need to clean that up. And if it's, I won't give it a consequence right away, but if it's something that, okay, now it's like, you're doing it every day, you're not listening to me, then now you're going to have a consequence. Now you're punished for a week, or, no TV or no tablet, or even if I take your drawing pad away, because that's Leiliani can live without anything.
She's so content.
But as soon as I take that drawing pad away, it's a problem. So she'll be so bored with her life. So
don't do my baby like that. That's okay though.
But I found ways, I guess, to make it work. And of course, we have family meetings, like I've said before, where we all sit down and we always pray together. But we also make sure that we start the meeting telling them how great, like, Arielis is great with her grades and that progress. You've been doing this, but also we need you to get better on this. So there's a lot of communicating. I must say,
that's good.
Like, not screaming, but communicating. Okay, well, you did this last week. You remember, I didn't scream at you, but you did it. So, you have to work on this week. We're going to work on this and that. And just having a lot of meetings and talking. But yes, I do get frustrated. But again, I'll just please, can you pick up? Sometimes I'm nice. Shalee does it every day.
Is that one child?
Yeah. She gets home, shoes, backpack. I'm like, baby, you just got home. Can you pick up? Oh, sure, Mom. I'm sorry. She'll pick it up.
Wow.
But, if I can get mad and be like, hey, I told you, but
it's not going to do anything for your children.
Right. So I just continue to, there's times I'm like, hey, every day. Listen, every day. I'm about to put a hook by the door. Just hang it up here.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it to your room, never. Just hang it up here. But it's just about having patience and picking and choosing your battles, I guess you would say.
Jesus, help me with that one.
Picking and choosing, because they're going to be kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is to have boys, but my girls tend to be a little dirty sometimes when it comes to, like, their rooms and stuff. And
I thought it was just mine.
No.
You know what? Just hearing from you, I'm realizing that I don't accept them as children. I'm trying to make them grow up too fast.
Yeah.
What I mean is, they don't realize they're supposed to put their stuff away.
Right.
And I compare my children to other people's children. And that is one reason why I struggled. Let's speak it in the past, okay? I struggled with enjoying motherhood because I would compare my children to other people's children. You're not doing this, and you're not doing this, and you're supposed to be doing this, and those aren't my children. And if my children have a hard time, like you said, putting their stuff away, hey, baby girl, let's put our stuff in our room. Or, hey, what did mommy tell you? And I love when you said communicating. So this is what I heard from you to help you enjoy motherhood. You said you guys have family meetings, so that brings about good communication. You pray, so that makes you make sure you give everything that you are concerned with, and also praise God in the midst of all of that. You have great communication with your husband. No, things may not be perfect, but it's growing. You make sure you're honest with your children. It sounds like, do you feel like you express yourself to your children, like that hurt my feelings, or why do you feel like you just...
Sometimes I do. And sometimes if I'm just having a day and they're, what's wrong? I'm not, it's not that I'm not their friend, but I don't put I'm with my oldest. I don't put my troubles. I'm okay. I'm fine. But yes, sometimes when I'm upset, I didn't like that, and that hurt my feelings. That fact that you're thinking like this hurts my feelings. You should know better. We have this to go by. Like, example, we have the Bible. This is how it is. You know better than this, but this is what you're thinking. I'm gonna let you think over that, and then we'll talk about it.
That's good. You don't force yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of let them choose.
Right.
And help them see that your point of view through it all, but you don't push yourself on them.
Right.
But you also are able to share your emotions with them. And that transparency is good, especially with having daughters.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, because my newborn, he's about to be 7 months at this point. So I don't really understand the emotional part. I don't really have to do that with him yet. But with my girls, about to be 7 and 5, I have to, Mommy, what's wrong? Leave me alone. That's not fair for me to do to them. So I love that I'm able to take that from you. So it's a blessing to hear that you take time to yourself. You're able to paint when you color. Paint when you have a moment when you can. I know when I was talking to you one day, the twins were sleeping, the other kids were in school, but and one of them, Genesis, she was up and walking around, but you said, I'm about to paint, and I was like, you better get your time. I love it. So I'm thankful that you don't put that, I need to do this right now. You don't put that pressure on yourself. Say, I'm going to paint this. Leave me alone. I'm painting right now. You say, okay, yes, honey. You kind of attend to them, but still do your thing too. And you're honest with your husband, or and for those who are not married, significant other, like, hey, I need help in this area. Can you help me? Can you do this? And you allow yourself to be very vulnerable. So I love that. These are all ways that help you to enjoy motherhood. And I'm thankful that I was able to take that from you. So with any mom, and I'm gonna take this advice on for myself, with any mom, last question, with any mom that is struggling with, whether it's one child or 8 or 13 or 5, with any mom that's struggling with motherhood, enjoying it right now, what type of advice, if you can give them maybe 1 or 2 sentences of what they how they can be encouraged in this moment, what would you say to them?
I think I would say enjoy the moment. Like I said earlier, you can get caught up in just, like you said, social media, how people look at you, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, in a blink of the eye, your babies will be all grown, and you just miss so much
truth,
worrying, or whatever the case was. So every chance that you get, I would try to enjoy it with them, even if it's a silly dance, or even if you're busy cooking and they want you to listen to their song that they sang 20 times.
Jesus. Yes.
Listen to it 21 times
Yes.
and just go about your cooking. But attention to them, being attentive to them, or I guess being intentional when you're attentive to them.
Intentional. I love it.
Yes, because I mean, sometimes, I can care what my 8-year-old got to say, and she would be talking silly stuff, but just showing her that attention might make a difference in her life. Yeah. Instead of just being like, okay, I can't do it right now. But yeah, I mean, advice would be just keeping God in the center of it, and just trusting that if everything you've been through in life hasn't killed you yet, ain't nothing gonna stop you. It's just a trial. Keep going. Trust God, and just make the best out of it. Stressing is not going to
just make it worse. It's gonna make us sick.
Yeah.
If not mentally, physically,
it'll be a way. It'll be a way. Even if it's, you think, oh, I can't do this. There's people that stress. Like, I've learned. I wasn't like this, but I've learned not to. Like, I've just noticed that when I used to stress to where I wasn't eating and sleeping and whatever, it wouldn't solve anything. But now that I trust God, I don't have this issue anymore. But when I was single, I might not have food for tomorrow. And then tomorrow, all of a sudden, I have this person just come by and drop off a bag of food. There was something always away, So just don't stress. You're doing great. Your kids are alive. Enjoy each moment with them and keep doing that thing. Always with God in the center of it, and you should be okay.
Yeah, we pray for those who have lost a child, and that I cannot relate, but I have seen moms, and I'm sure that's tough for sure. So as we close, I want to make sure you have anything else that you want to share with any other moms out there.
Honestly, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the best mom. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people tend to say that you're such a good mom.
You are
amazing.
Kids.
Kids. Sometimes I don't even see it. I'm like, man, I'm such a good mom. But I think love conquers all. Just love, literally love is the way. Just loving, even when it's tough to love, like even when they're a pain, when your kids are just, sometimes I get so upset at my oldest, and then I'm just like, give her a hug and a kiss, because love is what it does. Yeah. Love is the way, you know what I mean? So
definitely action word.
Yeah, just love on them, even if they get you really, really mad at you, like, oh, I can't do this. Who this child came from?
Jesus.
I still show, you know what? I love you. I'm upset at you, but I love you. Give me a hug, and I'm sorry. I love you, and I'm here. Good. I'm here for you.
That's good.
I'm here with you. We're gonna get through this together.
That's good. I love it. And I think that other people are definitely inspired by your story, because you came from a lot. Came from Puerto Rico, from was an abusive relationship there, or here?
Kind of both.
You came from a lot.
Yeah.
Abuse and alcoholism and not enjoying motherhood. But today we are able to see the victory.
Yes.
What God has done. And I'm thankful that you're able to see that it was God that did this for you.
I wouldn't be able to do it without him.
Before you told me your story, I'm telling you, I was like, what? You can't see it. But when God does a thing, and I know this from experience, he like wipes you like white as snow. He like cleans you up, where people are like, what, girl? You went through that?
I get that a lot too.
What? I'm telling you, I was like, what? And it's just beautiful to see beauty come from ashes.
Yeah.
It really is. So thank you again for sharing your
Thank you for
story.
the opportunity.
Yes, it's such a privilege to have you with us today. We look forward to you continuing to enjoy motherhood.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for
This
joining
is only
us.
the beginning.
Yes.
Now it's to learn how to be a boy mom.
Yeah, excited. And we definitely pray for a safe and healthy delivery for your boys and you. And we look forward to seeing your boys
Yes.
when are they due?
July 25th, but 37 weeks is July 4th, so I'm hoping for a July 4th
Listen,
baby.
my boy was born on July 8th,
Yes.
So maybe we'll see. But anyway, again, thank you for coming. We appreciate you, girl.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the OBM Podcast. We look forward to you joining us next week to hear a story from a mom near you. So until we hear each other again, please be sure to take it easy, be blessed, and smile. Remember, you can enjoy life.